is your love language something you lacked as a child? So in our open diary today, that is what we want to look at. So your love language, what is your love language? I think mine is, okay, let me say I only know of three, which are, I wrote them here: gifting, receiving gifts or giving gifts, and then words of affirmation and physical touch. I think I resonate more to this, and I consider them my love languages as well. So does your love language have anything to do with what you missed as a child? Think about it for a moment. I'm giving you a minute to think. What is your love language? Okay, you got it right. So is it something you missed as a child? Personally, I think the love language that I resonate most with, I think there are, okay, is it possible for someone to have more than one love language? Because I think I resonate more with the three that I've said: gifting, words of affirmation, and physical presence or physical touch. I think mine is more of gifting and physical presence or physical touch. So let's dive in. Does it mean as a child I did not have gifts? Does it mean I was not gifted enough as a child? Or does it mean I lacked the physical presence of my family, maybe my sibling, my mom and dad? I only have one big sister. I love her so much. And then my mom and dad, we have a small family. But unfortunately, my dad passed on in 2016. May his soul rest in peace. But words of affirmation, I think that used to be my love language, but not anymore. So there's to gifting and physical presence or touch. Don't worry, mentioning my dad sometimes takes me off a little bit, but we have a diary to write. So let's start with gifting. I tend to give people a lot of gifts. I tend to spend a lot of money buying simple stuff for people. When I know it's your birthday, or when a friend is having a baby, or when a friend has graduated, I tend to not have a problem with getting them gifts. Then secondly, the second love language is physical touch. Physical touch is where you want your partner to always be there with you. You feel much more loved when they're there, even if they don't talk, but they're there. Things like cuddling and kissing. This is what makes you feel loved. So, does it have a connection with what you missed as a child? And as a child, I think I was not gifted enough. I think my parents or the people around me were not so keen on giving gifts. And don't get me wrong, my parents are these hardworking people. I had an amazing dad. This is one man whose footsteps I follow on a daily. He left me very big shoes, but I'm trying to fit in there. This was a responsible man. My dad was actually very present in my childhood when it comes to school matters and all that. He was very present. What he did not do, or what my parents did not do, was buying me gifts. There is one gift that I think actually impacted me into adulthood, and it was this small camera. It was a small camera. I think the size of this Sony battery, or maybe bigger, but it was a small camera. He bought it to me, I think at the age of 7, maybe 8. And I had it for a long time. It was a toy camera. You would put the viewfinder in your eye, and when you press, you would see this slideshow of images, one after another, beautiful slideshows of cities and animals. And I kept that camera for a long time. And I think that is where my journey to photography and film began at the age of 7 when my dad bought me that gift. Then after that, I think he bought me a cape. And so let me just say, as opposed to other kids my age, I did not have a collection of tools to play with. And most of the time I would go to neighbors' houses to, ride bikes and drive toy cars. But that's it. That's just it. It doesn't mean my parent was irresponsible. I think their priorities at that time was my school fees, my school uniform, the food we take at home, shelter. So to my parents, those were top priorities at that time. To me as a child, toys were my top priority. So not receiving them made me feel some kind of way, and I'm sure you can relate. So into adulthood, I carried that feeling of not having the toys I want to play with. I think I carried it until now. So when I know a friend has a kid and it's the kid's birthday, I would carry a toy, or I would just buy a cake, or whatever the occasion is. And sometimes I just gift people out of the blues. It is not an occasion, it's not their birthday, there is no special event. I just give them a gift. And then my second love language is, I'm being quite vulnerable on this. My second love language is physical touch or physical presence. Should I call myself an introvert? Because I enjoy my company so much. I enjoy the silence that just comes with being alone in your house, and you can talk to yourself, the inner dialogue, or you can just enjoy some quiet, or you can listen to, podcasts or read a book. I love that kind of environment, that kind of serene, quiet environment, and I enjoy my company a lot. And sometimes when somebody comes to my house, sorry to say this to those people who visit me sometimes, I feel like they're intruding. I'm sorry again for that. I feel like they're intruding, but it's because I've learned to enjoy my company. But when I'm romantically attached to someone, when I'm passionate and I'm in love with someone, then I always want them to be around. Not necessarily because you are going to have sex, no, but their presence in my house, their presence around me, the fact that I can talk to them, we can laugh together, we can joke together, we can, prepare meals and eat together, it makes me feel loved. To me, it's better than words of affirmation. So again, does this go back to the lack of attention as a child? And I think yes. I think I was born at a time when my parents were not so financially stable. I think I can say that. And I saw my dad grow financially over my years until the time of his demise. He had actually grown a lot. But when in my early childhood, we did not have the luxuries. But again, we did not lack the basics, but we did not have the luxuries. And one of the luxuries that we did not have is time. We would wake up early, and by the time you're waking up, dad is already out. He has gone to work. Mom is already taking care of other things. So you're left there either to play by yourself or do something to keep yourself busy. And I think because they were so busy, I was taken to school at an early age. So I didn't have the privilege to stay at home with mom, playing with mom, and dad wouldn't come back. My dad was this very serious person. He would just come home, sit on his favorite chair, watch his favorite channels, or read a newspaper. He was an avid newspaper reader. So most of the time you'd find him holding, if he's not at work, then he's at home holding his newspaper or watching news. So you would find something else to do. So yes, I think as a child, I didn't have that affection of playing football with my dad, going things to do with hiking, visiting places with my father and family, and my mom and my sister. So everyone was like doing their own things at their own time. We were only 4 in the house, but most of the time everyone was doing their own thing. at their own time. Things like hugging in my family are, I think my dad hugged me. My dad and my mom hugged me for the first time when I graduated from my undergraduate. And I know it's not funny because most of us relate. You know, most African families, hugging is, especially to millennials like me and people born earlier, it wasn't a thing. But for the Generation Z, I think parents are opening up more. Personally, I think if I start having a family, my kids and my wife, I'll be hugging more, I'll be kissing them more. So it is opposed to what I had as a child. So yes, I think I value gifting and physical touch or presence as love languages because I severely missed this too as a child and even growing up into a teenager. So I find myself craving for them or doing them to other people because I want those people in my life not to feel the same way as I felt. So, in our open diary today, do you think does it resonate with you? Think of your love language again for a minute. And then think about your earlier life as a child. Do you think it's something you missed as a child that you're looking for now? And then we have sugar-coated it into love language. In the comments below, tell me about your love language. Which one is your love language? Or which love languages do you resonate more to? And in the comments below, tell me, is it something you missed as a child? Or is it something you had an abundance of as a child? Or is it something you've just developed as an adult and you want more of? So let's keep this conversation open. Let's keep it going. And in our next open diary session, maybe we could talk more about your thoughts in the comments, or we could pick another topic of interest. And remember to keep hydrated as you wait for our next open diary session.